Hi guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're being productive and all, doing the most, making the most of everything. Fun fact, maybe not so much fun, but sometimes I feel like even though my year tells me Gen Z, I feel more like, will I say baby boomer generation? Because when it comes to slang, I'm the absolute worst, absolute worst. So maybe not the baby boomers, I'm probably exaggerating a lot. But yeah, you get what I mean. Anyway, today's episode, I want to share a fellowship program that I took. I think that was back in 2022. And it's not just stories, right? I'm sharing my experience about the program. And hopefully this will help you make up your mind if it's something you'd like to do. So just put it out there first of all. It's a female-focused program. So guys, even if you can't relate to it right now, you probably have someone in your network, probably have someone that you know that this program will be of great benefit to. I don't mean fellowship in terms of like church fellowship. I mean fellowship in terms of like, what the other kind of fellowship I mean. Yeah, maybe like something like the Mandela Fellowship and other things like that. But this particular program is called the BMGA Fellows Program. So here it goes. When I was in 200 level, I was going to write a LinkedIn feed one day and I came across a particular program called the BMGA Fellows Program. Now, it stood out to me for a couple of reasons, so I kept reading. It was female focused and ticked all my boxes. It basically screamed my name. So in true Itoro fashion, I did my research and scoured their website for all the information I could find about the program. And the more I learned of it, the more interested I became. However, the caveat was that I had to at least be in my final year of uni. So I shelved the idea of applying, but it remained one of my top goals. Within that period, I busied myself with finding out as much as I could about it. They had an amazing founder and also a podcast with an all-star lineup of speakers and interviews. I also tried to connect with as many people as I could who were connected to this program in one way or the other. And I saw that a lady who attended my school a few years ahead of me was part of the first batch of the program. And apparently she won a competition within the program. So that was another bit of information I kept aside, but knew will prove useful later on. ASUU strikes take up a huge part of one's schooling experience in Nigeria. For context, ASUU means Academic Staff Union of Universities. It is the body of lecturers in federal universities in Nigeria. So this body would go on strikes periodically when the government did not pay salaries, which was kind of often. Hence, from time to time would be home because ASUU was on strike. Another strike was just looming when I saw the call for applicants for the program. This time I was eligible to apply, being a final year student. Around that time, I had told God that I really wanted something different, and I couldn't find another word other than different. I just trusted that He who formed me and understands me better than I understood myself, put those desires within me, I was going to lead me. The application required that I did some extra research in order to answer the questions. They also tried to assess my motivation for wanting to join the program. At that time, I had listened to several episodes of their podcast, most more than once. It was a no-brainer. I wanted to do the program really badly. Going into it, my biggest goal was to learn how to speak. I mean, speak up for myself in circumstances, make my voice heard, because it was an almost unconscious decision to constantly remain silent at the time. And in a way, being part of the program kind of led me into finally starting up this podcast, because it was something in my mind, but actualizing it, I think I did need a bit more tools in my arsenal. And yeah, the program was a very great way to do that for me. So great news, guys. I got in. During the onboarding ceremony, 24 of us made our introductions and were told that the program was what we made of it. I took the advice, but I still didn't know what to do with it then. The next time we met was our first class. It was awesome. But true to Ituru at the time, I don't think I said a word to the entire class. There was a girl who did. Her name is a 2-letter word, pronounced like a 3-letter word we use every single day. That's got to be the easiest name in the world to remember. She spoke up, asked or answered 1 or 2 questions, and instantly became our instructor's pet. That day, I made up my mind. I was going to say something in the next class. My focus was not on even trying to sound coherent, but just to get a word out. I was there, and I was not going to be there quietly. I think hearing her name every time we had class sparked something in me. It made me feel like if she could speak, then so could I. And then I did. A lot of the things we were learning, consciously and unconsciously, were around this topic of making our voices heard. And I began to see the program as a training field, somewhere I could learn the most and practice immediately. Indeed, it was liberating. Being in class with literally the creme of the crop was scary, also a great mental validation for me. If they could do it, so could I. And then I did, day in, day out, for 6 months, learning from instructors from some of the best institutions worldwide and from my colleagues who were and still are doing super amazing things. I remember our graduation ceremony. A friend I met through the program was called to say one thing about the person next to her. It was me. I was the person next to her on the screen. Did I mention this program was entirely virtual? Well, that's beside the point, because wherever I was in the world, I could still be there. I'll never forget what she said. She said, Ituru is someone who is very inquisitive. Me. Very inquisitive. All right. Up until that point, I don't think I would have ever used this term to describe myself. But she did. My growth was visible to someone other than me. And it was like it finally clicked. So a while ago, I was reading Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In, and I think that it's a fantastic read. However, I tried my hardest not to get fixated on the numbers because it can get discouraging. But she made a statement in the book, to paraphrase. She said that men will typically apply for the job if they met 60% of the criteria required, but many women would only apply if they checked every single thing. Whew, that sounded an awful lot like me. Later on, I saw an internship opportunity where I ticked every box but one, and so had put applying away from my mind, far as the east is from the west. But reading that statement and all the other God-orchestrated coincidences just gave me confidence. So I applied. Did I get it? I did not. I mean, I did not even get a rejection mail. Good God. But what I got out of that rejection was the assuredness that I would never not bet on me again. And that the worst that they could say to me is no. And I'll dust myself off and try again. I've seen so many people share their rejection letters on LinkedIn or their stories of rejection, dealing with rejection in general. And the first time I saw it, I was really taken aback. But since then, I've learned a lot. A one-word summary: great. So I think a good way to also tell you about the program is to tell you what they say about themselves. And it's something you can easily just read off the website without putting it to you still. And then you can make your further research if this is something that appeals to you. The BMGA Fellows Program is a social impact initiative designed to narrow the gender skills gap among university graduates in Africa and Asia. It is a virtual experiential learning program that provides women with access to the knowledge and resources required to gain fundamental employability skills that strengthen their marketability for a successful career in the 21st century. The program is designed to give academically motivated final year students and early career professionals the unique opportunity to have a transformational learning experience that will play a pivotal role in their personal and professional development. This program enables participants to develop essential skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, effective communication, emotional intelligence, teamwork, and creativity, among others. This program is supported by top global institutions that consistently provide a transformational experience through mentorship, executive coaching, and up-to-date learning resources. Some of these global institutions include the Association of Commonwealth of Universities, Imperial College Business School, Gallup, FAMMINTI, Thunderbird School of Global Management, UN Women, Giants of Africa, among others. So if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in and you're thinking of applying, with my whole heart, I'll say give it a shot. And I'm more than willing to give a few pointers on submitting a great application. You could send a message to Not Just Stories or DM me personally on Instagram. We also have an email address. It's notjuststories@gmail.com. Any of the means available to you, you can use to reach out to me or reach out to the program itself. Ask whatever questions you need to ask to get the clarity that you need. If it's something that you want to do, believe me, I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share, review, comment, and share with your network because this is a very important program. You don't want to miss out on it. All right? See you in the next episode. Bye for now.